Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Later on this evening, I am off to check out the latest horror film, Talk to Me, from A24. Now, I'm not one of those people that believe everything that A24 puts out is amazing and great and kissing its ass and all that good stuff. I mean, they put out some really good movies. And I do like the fact that they often take chance on first-time directors. There's a lot of people that have gotten their start recently that have made some amazing films, and they've all gotten their start with A24. So this is the directorial debut of Danny and Michael Filippo. I apologize if I am not doing that correct. Please give me a phonetic down in the comments if you know how to pronounce their last name correctly. Anyways, the story of this film is a supernatural horror film where a group of, I'm going to say teenagers, they could be teenagers, young adults, where they're having a party where they have this occult item. It's a hand. It looks kind of like a statue, a mannequin hand or something with a bunch of runes all over it. Anyways, this hand gives the person the ability to talk to the dead. Well, let's just say, as it always happens in horror films, they talk to the dead, and well, shit happens. And that's exactly how this movie looks. It gives me the heebie-jeebies just watching the trailer of this film. This is, again, the kind of horror movies I love. I like the creepy, atmospheric, spooky kind of films. I don't like the non-stop, jump scares, in-your-face kind of stuff. And this is a supernatural horror, and supernatural horror to me is very jump scary. They have a lot of that technique in those types of movies. So I'm really hoping that this movie does not rely so much on the jump scares of the haunted, the occultist kind of supernatural horror that's out there. I hope that they could play this more in the creepy realm. I mean, that's what A24 is kind of known for. But who knows? Who knows? I'm not going to know until I get out there and see it. So I'm interested to see how these first-time directors do. I'm looking forward to it. So enough of me sitting here jibber-jamming, yibber-jabbing, jibber-jibber talking. It's time for me to get out the door because I got to go see Talk to Me. Welcome back. Just getting home. And you know what, guys? I really enjoyed this movie. This was one scary horror film. I liked every moment of it from the beginning to the end. Okay, so this is how I like to do things. We're going to start off with the negatives, and then we're going to end things with the positives, so the video ends on the ever so important high note. Okay, now I don't really consider this a negative, but I can see where some people might not like this at all. And that is that this movie does not spoon feed anything to you. You figure out things pretty much just naturally like the people in the film do. Like when they fiddle with this hand and things happen, you learn when they learn. Let me give you an example. Okay, so let's just say that this movie was about some kind of haunted object. Let's say a doll. Alright, so at some point in the movie, they find some dusty old book that tells them the secrets of this doll, or they seek out somebody who possessed the doll at one point in time, and they kind of have a scene like that, but it goes down, well, not so great, because it's the exact same thing, just kind of like, dude, I don't know, man, I just know how to turn the thing on. And that's just kind of how this object works. Everybody knows how to turn the thing on, nobody knows how to turn the thing off and put the genie back in the bottle, basically. And I really enjoyed that about the film. It made it just feel completely and absolutely hopeless. You're just like, but how are they going to stop all of this? What's going to take the end to all of this? You never really find out. You never know what's going to happen. at all in this film, and I love that. It really gives you a completely different thing. It's because of the fact it breaks a norm to a normal Hollywood haunted object story, really helps it, in my opinion. I know some people might not like that because they're going to be like, well, how did this happen? And why did this happen? And why did this happen? And you know what? It's a freaking haunted object, dude, okay? It doesn't work by technology or anything like that. It sets its own rules. And so that was nice that they never really gave this object any rules, so you never really had to worry about listening to them. Alright, so now actually into the actual positives of this video. I thought the acting was great. I was not familiar with the young cast at all. This film is in Australia. These actors did an excellent job. It's a very young cast, and each one of them really deliver. I mean, every single one of them does a great job. I enjoyed it perfectly. I mean, this is one of those movies without good acting would have really come off as a schlocky B-rate kind of film, but these actors really hold their own in this film. The scares are also amazing. This is not a jump scare filled kind of film. This is not Insidious by any means. This is definitely a slow burn psychological horror with some, I like to call them modern jump scares. I call them like soft and quiet jump scares. You know, the one where it's like, you know, like she's brushing her teeth, you know, and she looks in the mirror, and then she goes to get something out of the cupboard and she shuts it back. And then instead of being a loud noise or something, there's just like a ghost. Just like, what's up, man? Yes, it scares the hell out of me. That is so much scarier than it being the ghost and the loud sound and everything else. Just this thing, you know. And so there's a lot of those like corner of your eye, just peripheral vision kind of scares in this film. Absolutely liked it. Lots of great build-up, lots of dread, solid scares. So all in all, this film delivers on so many different levels. It's not even funny. Excellent horror film, excellent tension, excellent thriller, excellent acting. This is going to be, I'm just going to say, I would see this movie going down as a horror classic someday. This movie may be talked about 20-some years from now, or it could also help start some new forms of horror down the road. Like I said, I loved how ambiguous things were in this film. I don't really need everything explained over and over to me in a movie, and I like it sometimes when the movie explains nothing. They're just like, hey, check this shit out. Hold my beer. And that's it. That's all you get. All right, guys. So this is a definite solid. Get out there. Check it out in theaters if you can. It's out there. At least I hope it is. Check it out. If you enjoy horror, this is definitely something that you're going to want to see in theaters. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.